Welcome to something to talk about. Yeah, really loud. Welcome to something to talk about.
Boom! Hi! Welcome to Something to Talk About. Sorry for doing that to you. My name is Taco, and I'm here to talk about Alleras. Alleras. Let's go with Alleras. Or Al. The Sphinx. The acolyte at the Citadel. Sarella Sand? What else are you talking about? You could talk about Alleras here. Definitely not talking about anybody else. This definitely isn't a video for two people, and I'm just making it look like it's just one. All right, what's going on? What's going on here? My name is Taco. You can go ahead and pause this, read this if you don't know what's going on. And yeah, there you guys go. I did a Maester Week last week, and here we are right after Maester Week talking about an acolyte at the Citadel. But Alleras wouldn't count because Alleras isn't a Maester, so I can't have Alleras and Maester Week, but I can cover Alleras right after Maester Week, and that's what we're going to do. So let's talk about Alleras. Alleras, known as the Sphinx, is an acolyte studying at the Citadel in Oldtown. His mother is a Summer Islander trader, and he claims not to be a lord's son, despite claims of a few, mostly Leo Tyrell, who I've also done a video for. He is slender, comely, and has a soft smile. He has curly black hair, a widow's peak, and big black eyes like onyx. Ooh, sounds handsome. Alleras has skin of the color teak and light brown ale. The youth usually wears doeskin breeches and a snug green brigandine with iron studs. He speaks with a soft Dornish drawl. Has an accent, has a southern accent, right? I mean, Dorne's in the south, so it's a southern accent. Alleras prefers the sweet wines of the Summer Islands rather than those of Westeros. He displays a remarkable skill with his golden heart longbow, which we'll get to. Also from the Summer Islands, the longbow is. He is in a circle of friends that include Armin, Pate, Mullendor, and Rune. Alleras has been at the Citadel for a year and has forged 2 links in his maester chain before we get to the pretty much his first slide. And at some point in his time in the Citadel, Leo Tyrell gave Alleras the nickname Sphinx because he was a bit of this and a bit of that, like a sphinx is made of multiple creatures. You guys get it? Yeah, so Alleras doesn't have a house, so we'll get to it. So we're gonna do the slide I did last week for the Order of Maesters. So because we meet him at the Citadel. The Maesters are an order of scholars, healers, and messengers and scientists. They educate new students at the Citadel. That's where Alleras comes in, which is an Oldtown, a city in the Reach. House Hightower was integral in the city's foundation and continues to support the order. As advisors in Westeros for the Westerosi nobility, the Maesters have largely supplanted the Alchemist Guild. They are sometimes called the Knights of the Mind. A Maester can be recognized by his chain he wears around his neck. The collar is intended to remind the Maester of the realm he serves. The links of the chain can be made of every metal known to man. Each link signifies a subject he mastered. Yeah, so you go to the Citadel and you're like, hey, I want to learn about, I don't know, man, smash burgers. And they're like, cool, we got a chain for that. And then you go really good at smash burgers and they're like, here's your chain. That's in the books, man. I didn't make that up. Don't look at me like that. All right, let's talk about Alleras. So, Alleras, the Sphinx, having forged his copper link, so now 3 links, right? I said 2. Now there's a copper link. Alleras celebrates at the Quill and Tankard by purchasing strong cider for his friends. That's where we meet him. He's just hanging out there partying, pretty much. He practices his archery skills by shooting at apples thrown above the honey wine by Mullendor. So Mullendor is chucking up apples, and Alleras is shooting them out of the air with his longbow. With his friends distracted by talks of dragons and thoughts of serving girls, looking at you, Pate, Alleras keeps yelling, "Throw the apple!" And then Mullendor's like, "Oh, yeah. Alleras is doted on by the serving wenches, including Rosie, which makes Pate jealous. Pate, get your mind out of the skirts, all right? Your mind out of the gutter, Pate. Despite Mullendor's clubfoot, he throws the apple sidearm really hard, right, into the mist above the Honeywine River. Far and fast the apple flew, but not faster than Alleras' arrow. The yard-long arrow nails the apple with a thunk, as the group argue about tales of dragons still, right? So they're just talking about dragons, and Alleras is like, dude, come on, somebody throw an apple. He complains that Mullendor still has one apple, still has an apple, and he has 2 arrows left. Though wormy, he throws another apple, and this one splits in 2. If you are to cut a worm in 2, you make 2 worms, Alleras explained. If only that worked with apples, no one would go hungry. Yeah, good point, Alleras. He smiled like he often did, as if he knew a secret jape. All right, one last apple, and then I will tell you what I suspect about these dragons. Alleras claimed the last apple, which he allows to fall into the river untouched. Rune claims that he always misses the last shot, and then Alleras says, "The day you make them all is the day you stop improving," Alleras said wisely. Yeah, I like the cut of Alleras' jib. All right, let's continue that scene at the bar. Talks of dragons. So now he finally is going to sit down and talk about dragons. After putting his golden heart bow away, he joins his friends and discusses the rumors of dragons in Essos. And Alleras tells them all that the dragon has 3 heads. Rune asks if that is a riddle, since sphinxes often speak in riddles. No riddle, he says. Armin corrects him, saying that dragons only have 3 heads on sigils, and that all the Targaryens are dead. Alleras says that Daenerys Targaryen is still alive. Lazy Leo, who I did a video for Lazy Leo. If you want to see it, go watch it. Arrives at the inn. Mullendor tells him off. Yeah, they all don't like him. And Armin questions why he's there, because isn't he supposed to be at house arrest? Like, he's not even supposed to leave the Citadel. Leo insults them all the companions, and says awful things about Alleras' mother, which I'm not going to repeat here. And Alleras demands an apology. Leo claims that he can't unless he buys him a drink because his throat is too dry. He's like, buy me a drink. He's like, yeah, you just made fun of my mom. It's like, well, come on, buy me a drink. He's like, no, you have to apologize. He's like, I can't. You need to buy me a drink first. My throat's too dry. Right? And then he confirms Alleras' story and informing them that, yes, Daenerys has 3 dragons. And they're like, what? And that there is a glass candle burning in the Archmaester Marwyn's chambers. To the group's surprise, the friends then go, they all talk about what glass candles are, and then the friends decide to head back to the Citadel to retire for the evening, except for Pate, who is left with Leo, who then threatens to buy a night with Rosie. So then before Alleras goes, he reassures Pate that if Leo does not have the coin to buy his own wine, he cannot afford Rosie either. Yeah, Alleras seems like a nice guy. And then Pate gets prologued. All right, so that's the setup. That's the first scene that we meet Alleras in. So let's go to the other chapters. So Alleras is only in 2 chapters, right? One's that prologue, and then the other one is when Samwell finally makes it to the Citadel. So, and that's what let's read that now. That's what we're gonna do now. Samwell, via a glass candle, Archmaester Marwyn foresees the arrival in Oldtown of Samwell Tarly and sends Alleras to the Seneschal's court, where Sam just arrived. Sam waited so long that he started to drift off. Alleras appears next to him to his surprise and tells him that he could just bribe Lorcas, that's the dude's name there, if he doesn't want to wait 3 days. He asks Samwell why the Night's Watch is at the Citadel. Sam informs the youth that John, the Lord Commander, is restoring all these castles, right? And they need some maesters. But when Alleras introduces himself, Sam is taken aback that when he learns that the boy is called the Sphinx. So Sam then blurts, the Sphinx is the riddle, not the riddler, which is something that Maester Aemon once told him. He then asks him if he knows what that means, right? And Alleras is like, what? I don't know what that means. Samwell then tells Alleras the story of how he reached Oldtown, leaving out only secrets that he, has sworn to keep, right? He doesn't say any of the, big secrets. Alleras is shocked to learn that Aemon is even still alive. And then after hearing all that has transpired, especially Maester Aemon's pleas to the Citadel to, please that the Citadel learn of Daenerys, Alleras tells him to forget about the Seneschal. The Archmaesters will believe little of what Sam has to say, but there is one who will. The Mastiff himself, Archmaester Marwyn. So yeah, let's go meet Marwyn. This is almost low-key Marwyn too. Marwyn the Mage. The Isle of Ravens. At the Isle of Ravens, Alleras explains explains white and black ravens to Samwell as they pass by them. They climb the North Tower as ravens squawk and fly around them all get woken up. Sam recognizes Leo Tyrell, who's outside of Maester Marwyn's, Archmaester Marwyn's chambers, who is staring at a glass candle. But before many words can be exchanged, Marwyn the Mage appears and ushers Sam and Alleras into his chambers. I always think of when in Back to the Future, right? When he goes to Doc Brown's house in the 50s and he's trying to get him, and then finally when when Doc blasts the door open and grabs him and then puts the thing on his head. I think if that's how Marwyn opens the door, I don't know. That's how I picture it. Oh man. Okay. Does anyone else have that in their mind? Okay. So he jumps out and then he goes, "Get in here, Slayer, and you too, Sphinx." The Mastiff barks. Marwyn first describes how Valyrians use dragon glass, noticing Sam's interest in the obsidian candle because there is a dragon glass candle just lit. That's crazy. Sam then repeats what he told Alleras, stating that Maester Aemon was convinced that Daenerys was the prince that was promised, not Rhaegar or Stannis. To this, Archmaester Marwyn reveals how fickle and treacherous prophecy can be. He makes it clear that Sam that Maester Aemon may have been killed by Archmaesters if he had spoken his mind to them. And he goes, "Who do you think?" Or no, sorry, he didn't think that. Yeah. He goes, "Who do you think killed the dragons the last time around?" He explains that the Citadel is building a world without magic. And then he commands Alleras to look after Sam. And then Marwyn makes his known his plan to travel to Slaver's Bay as Maester Aemon intended, who Maester Aemon wanted to do. He intends to take the Cinnamon Wind, which is the boat that Sam just got off of, hoping to reach Daenerys. He advises Sam to work repeatedly towards his chain and to never mention anything about prophecies, dragons, or Daenerys to anyone at the Citadel, right? He's like, no, don't do it. It's not safe. Don't do it. Marwyn quickly departs, and Alleras reveals to Sam that their meeting was not happenstance and that the mage knew Sam was coming. supposedly from the glass candle. All right, that's all Alleras' story. Don't worry, we still got a couple slides, right? So let's talk about the biggest theory for Alleras. And if you really don't know, wow, good job. You watched an Alleras video without knowing the biggest theory for Alleras, right? That's awesome. I thought it would be really funny to just present Alleras and then do this. So Alleras and Sarella. So the main theory is that Alleras is actually Sarella Sand, daughter of Oberyn. This is widely believed. It even is believed. I even believe this one. Yeah, I don't believe every theory. I don't believe most theories, but I believe this one. I think this is pretty clear cut, actually. And as you can see by this poll right in front of you, so yeah, 75% of people think 100% yes, Sarella Sand is Alleras. They are the same person. And then 14 thinks it's strong maybe, and then a small maybe is 6, and no is only 4%. So yeah, most people absolutely do think that these are the same people. So let's learn about Sarella on her own. Yeah, since on her own, it's not a big enough video. Yeah, so Sarella couldn't really make a video on her own. Like, I'm about to tell you everything we know about Sarella, and it's going to be one slide. So I'm just going to support that slide here. So I will never do a video for just Sarella Sand, but this pretty much is a video for Sarella Sand if you believe that these two are the same people. So yeah, let's go. Sarella Sand. Sarella Sand is Prince Oberyn Martell's 4th daughter. That's right, she's a sand snake. Her mother is a trader captain who of the feathered kiss that comes from the Southern Isles, Summer Islands. Sarella sometimes played with her cousin, Prince Arianne Martell, at the Water Gardens, although Arianne was always closer to Sarella's half-sister, Tyene Sand. Sarella once visited an abandoned holdfast named Shadystone with her father, Tyene and Arianne. Interested in the history of the ruins, Sarella turned over rocks and looked all around and checked stuff out, right? After Oberyn's death and some rebellious vibes from the other sand snakes, Doran Martell orders Arya Hota to take the sand snakes into custody. But as Sarella is outside of Dorne, he leaves her be. So this is a quote. This is pretty much the only quote we actually ever get about Sarella. Arya goes, "What of Sarella? She is a woman grown, almost 20. And Doran Martell says, unless she returns to Dorne, there's naught I can do about Sarella, save pray that she shows more sense than her sisters. Leave her to her ... game." So, yeah, that's all we know about Sarella, right? Like, she visited ruins once, and she's not in Dorne, and has a game, right? So let's go back to this slide and read what I had on here. So after looking at that, you can guess that her, quote, game is being the first female maester, first known. Maybe there has been one. And yeah, that and her love for Oldtown and love for learning about ruins. And then her heritage, right? I said gaff. Half Dornage, half Summer Islander. Right, and even Alleras said that that his Summer Islander mother was a trading captain, right? So a ship captain. So that even is the same. And then everyone going that he has a half-born or a high-born dad, and Alleras is like, I don't have a high-born dad. Well, Sarella does, right? And then of course, yeah, it's just all too close. Oh, and her name is just Alleras spelled backwards. Alleras Sarella. Yeah. Now that is, yeah, it just seems super obvious. So if there's anything that makes me not want to believe this, is that it just seems too obvious. But it might only be obvious due to the years and years we've had to analyze the books. Yeah, if you just read this once, maybe you wouldn't connect a random sister in Dorne with this dude in the Citadel. Like, but we've all read it. Well, at least I have read the books multiple times, and everyone's talking about it. And there's this really big, amazing community that you're a part of and I'm a part of that discuss theories. So now after we do it so much, we're like, oh, that's a little obvious. But maybe it wouldn't be obvious if we didn't do this, right? So there you guys go. That's Alleras, and then I tucked Sarella in there right at the end, and that's really all a Sarella video would be. It would have been this in reverse, because I do believe they are the same person. Do you? And yeah, as you can see, when I did a poll for my channel, most people absolutely do believe that they are the same person. So yeah, really cool character. I really like Alleras / Sarella. That is, if they are the same person, which I do believe. I think they're a fantastic character. And yeah, that's all I got. And what do you guys think? Again, let me know. If you're a rare person who's like, no, you guys are just making connections, they have nothing to do with each other, let me know in the comments, because I want to hear your reasoning. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and click like, do all that YouTube stuff, and thank you for all the amazing support you guys give my dumb little nerdy channel. And yeah, peace.